What's up, YouTube? It's been about 2 years, but I am officially back in 2025. If you've been around or you've watched my videos, you know that I, in recent years, did a lot of bodybuilding prep vlogs and tips and tricks. And the reason that I fell off is because I quit bodybuilding. So we are going to jump into that topic, and then we're also going to talk about what is to come from this channel in the future. Dude, you are so much. So the last time I competed and posted about it was in 2022. I did an entire prep series vlog and I was following it and I was doing great. Like, I thought that I looked really good considering the fact that I had coached myself through everything. We get to where I was competing in Spokane, and typically before a bodybuilding competition, you do like a refeed or a carb up where you eat a lot of carbs to hopefully put more glycogen into your muscles so that when you're on stage, they look fuller under those bright lights so you can see a little bit more definition, things of that nature. Coaching myself, I think that's where I lost my discipline. So instead of just eating like white rice, I decided that I was okay to like have a donut or a cookie. And I was like, well, it'll all go to my muscles because I haven't been eating this. And like, I convinced myself in my head that it was okay. But the issue is that my correlation between health and food was not where it should be. Like, in a bodybuilding competition, I'm not blaming this on bodybuilding. I think that's the one thing I want people to get when I talk about this, is that I'm not blaming bodybuilding as a sport. I'm not blaming bodybuilding in general. I chose to do that. I am fortunate that I got to do that. I am grateful that I did it. So let's just get that out of the way. There's a big misconception around that. But there are things that bodybuilding can lead to, especially if you don't do it properly or if you're not in the right mindset. And for me, I didn't have a good correlation between food and health. Like, my mind immediately went to, if it's not a whole food, if it's not in very specific proportions that are weighed out to the gram, like, it's not healthy for you. And the second that I went off track and I would eat a little of something, the typical binger inside of me was like, oh, now I'm off track. Now I have to eat the entire package. So anyways, that's what happened right before my competition. I thought that I could handle these small amounts of unhealthy things, but what ended up happening was the day before my competition, I gorged myself. So the next day, instead of waking up with full muscles, I woke up bloated. I am gonna finally put some stuff on screen here from my competition. I mean, I didn't look awful, but I didn't look good. After that, I felt like a massive failure. I had posted all this stuff online, whether it was on YouTube or on Instagram, and I felt like I had failed the people who had been following me, which is kind of dumb. Like, bodybuilding is such a personal sport, which is just one more reason that I'm telling you why I finally quit. It is a very, it's a very selfish sport, and it has to be. Your entire day is dedicated to your physique from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And those hours are very limited in between because you have to get the proper amount of sleep. You have to eat at certain intervals. You have to do a certain amount of cardio, a certain amount of lifting, all these things that compound up to ensure that when you step on stage, you are stepping on stage with your very best package. Those hours are jam-packed full. I was constantly, probably 3 times a week, I was prepping tons of food, sweet potatoes and chicken and ground turkey and shrimp and all this stuff that I was prepping. And then I had to put it into meal prep containers. And then I had to figure out the time to sit down and eat. And then I had to do an hour of workouts. Plus in the evening, I was doing cardio. There was just a lot going on. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have 2 daughters. I have a husband, and those people are important to me. And one thing that I learned, again, not bodybuilding's fault, my own, for me, it wasn't worth it. I look back now and I'm like, I sacrificed so much time with my family. I wasn't able to go out to eat with them. We didn't often like go to the mall and go shopping because my kids would get hungry, and like, I was like, I don't want to have to stop at a pizza place or at the pretzel place or be tempted even with those items. So I was skipping out on these. I was forcing my family to do that. And I'm not saying everybody does this. There are plenty of people who compete in bodybuilding, are very successful, have children and manage it. But for me, one, I'm not a professional. I'm also in my 30s. I realized that my chances, especially of coaching myself and making it into like the pro leagues, was slim to none. And I decided that I didn't want to waste any more time just competing on an amateur level. And I think the other thing is I enjoy training for my health. I enjoy training for myself. Like I enjoy training to get stronger. Competing in wellness or bikini division, eventually I would have had to have stopped training my upper body because my back is very developed, my shoulders are fairly developed, and my legs are not as big as they should be. So therefore, my proportions are off for that division, which means that I would have to lose muscle here to make sure that the lower portion was not the same as the top, because that's kind of what wellness is. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to lift 5-pound dumbbells for shoulder day. Like I want to go out there and I want to lift heavy. So for me, it was like the training was becoming something that I didn't enjoy. And the last reason is, again, like I work a full-time job. We have bills to pay. We are a normal family. We don't make, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I don't have the money to, well, I did, to be spending it on these competitions. By the time you factored in your spray tan, your jewelry, your heels, your suit, travel expenses there, your hotel, your entrance fees, photos, all these things, you are talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for one day after sacrificing for months to be on stage. And you don't get, at the amateur level, you don't make any money doing it. Like you can get recognition potentially, and maybe you'll get a sponsorship deal, maybe, but there's no guarantee. So eventually I just found that I do love health and fitness, and that's why I went into bodybuilding, because I love a good challenge. But I found that now I can find a way to challenge myself in other aspects with fitness rather than having to show off this physique. Plus I get to enjoy my life. So anyways, that's kind of why I quit bodybuilding. But I wanted to get this channel back up. I wanted to come back to YouTube. I love making videos. I love making content. I love connecting with people. And one of the big things that kind of drove me to this over the past couple of months is I'm still receiving tons of like comments and messages on Instagram of people asking me questions saying, hey, come back, like I have questions for you, or I want to coach myself, or please help me how to coach myself. So while I'm not in bodybuilding anymore, I do have experience with coaching myself. So I'm still going to be here to answer questions, and I am going to do videos that pertain to bodybuilding because it is something that I enjoy. I still follow tons of competitors online. I still follow the sport closely. I'm going to watch the Olympia every single year. I'm probably going to watch the Arnold every single year. It is something that I have a ton of respect for, and I very much admire the people that do it. So it's still something that I consider myself involved in, even though I am not competing. But other than that, I'd also like to open this channel up to a more lifestyle nicheless audience. I said I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work, I am now in real estate. We recently moved, so I live in the state of Colorado, so there's tons of stuff to explore. I'd like to just be able to kind of share a more real, authentic, non-influencer page. I think we're all kind of sick of the influencer thing. I think we're all kind of sick of like seeing perfectly curated everything. Maybe not, maybe people aren't. I know I am, because it gets me down. So I'm trying to follow and find more real people that don't have perfect homes. You know, they have clutter. They're making average meals. They're not like making these 5-piece gourmet dinners for their families, or like making their kids like some 2-hour breakfast. I want to find people who want the same type of thing as me then, you know, like they want to see real life. And that means the real struggles of fitness, really working out, not like just making up some influencer workout, but like the real exercises that are actually going to make you see progress. And so I'm still going to do fitness. I would love to touch on recipes. I'd love to do reviews. You know, I buy a stupid amount of stuff, and especially like beauty products that have worked for me, especially as I'm aging. Like I'm now in my 30s, and I am paying more close attention to skincare. And if I can help other women who are also not trying to spend $300 on a skincare product, find something that works for them, then that's what I want to do. Or even de-influence people from buying stupid things that they shouldn't be buying that, I don't know, TikTok told them to buy. And while my community is not extremely large here on YouTube, I always encourage people, please, like, tell me if there's something you want to see. I want to listen to my audience. I want to connect with these women. So if there's something that you do want to see on this channel, just leave me a comment, and I would love to make some content for you, because 2025 is the year that my YouTube channel is coming back. We are going to be consistent. We are going to be posting. We're going to be sharing content. We're going to keep it real. So I hope you guys will stick around. I have some video content planned for the next couple weeks. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again very soon.